Hi, my name is Tyree Houghton.
Hi, my name is Abby Castle.
Hi, I'm Danny Baena.
Hi, my name is Kayla Burns. For our thing, we had Mechanical Music Maker, and our problem was trying to find a way that we could make one within the constraints of $40 and a couple weeks.
Our mechanical music maker had to play at least 10 seconds to a minute of a recognizable song and fit within a 3 by 3 foot cube.
The requirements for our project were only to make it 50% mechanical, but we decided to make it 100% mechanical.
Some of the research we did was on pitch and how to produce different kinds of pitch.
Our inspiration for our design was a music box.
One of the ideas we had was to do a music maker where you turn it and then pegs hit levers, and then the levers come down and hit jars, and the jars have different levels of water, so it makes different sounds when you hit it.
Some of the challenges that we came across during our building process was the pegs getting stuck on like the levers, as well as sound quality. The jars weren't producing the exact notes that we wanted to. We addressed the challenge of the pegs getting stuck by changing the way that the barrel with the pegs was rotating, as well as shortening down some of the pegs.
Had to figure out the correct direction that the bucket would rotate to prevent the levers from bouncing when they hit the jars. And then later, there was an error in how it was built, so we had to elevate the jars to keep them from bouncing as well.
We also had a little difficulty tuning them and making sure that the sound was right, so we tried flipping jars over and changing what would be hitting them to see what would make the best sound.
Our design worked very well in competition. It worked perfectly every time as planned. There was no mistakes in how it was built, and nothing fell apart, and the judges did like it.
If I could change something about how we did our Fed project, I would probably have started earlier and maybe gone a little more outside the box.
If we could do this project again, it would have been better for us to make sure that we had set aside certain times where our whole group could work together on building the actual project, so there was clear communication with what we wanted done. Because we had some miscommunications and some things got changed that if they had stayed the way the initial plan had went, our project would have worked better.
Honestly, if I could go back and do something different, I would have done a different design from the start. Something that was less complicated and had less room for error.
One thing I'd advise for future Fed teams is to definitely make a group chat, because it's a lot easier to meet up, find times, like toss ideas at each other, and get stuff done.
I would advise freshmen doing their Fed projects to start as early as possible and be really creative because you might think you have a good idea, but a lot of people might show up with the exact same idea.
The advice that I would give to freshmen next year working on their project is to think about every little bit of the design so that when you go to actually build it, there's as little mistakes to correct as possible. If you plan out every little part and how it can work, and you think about what could possibly not work before you actually start construction, there's less problems you have to deal with later.
My advice to anybody else who will be making Fed projects is to make sure you have a backup plan, because we got super lucky that our project ended up working, but we didn't have a backup plan. So if it didn't work, we would have been scrambling and we wouldn't have had a project at all probably. So make sure you have a backup plan, because you never know what can go wrong